Hello, Hard Times guy here, and I'm gonna have one more Maggie Valley video. I thought I was done with these, but my editor, she was looking through them and she said, "What happened to the dandelion?" And I said, "Well, it was in that really long one, and I edited it out because it's already too long." She said, "Can't do that. Can't edit that dandelion out. You got to put it back in." So I'm gonna make one more, and I had some material I hadn't covered, so here we go. I've already extended video because on the way up here discovered something. Couldn't help myself. Need to show it to you. That right there, can you see that? That's a dandelion. You may recognize those. They grow in just about everybody's yard in southern Indiana. And that's a dandelion too. Look at that. Look how big that one is. You know, compare that one to the first one I showed you. Can you see that? There's the first one. There's the second one. Look at that big old dandelion. I don't think I've ever seen a dandelion quite that big. I'll let you look at that one more time. Look at that. Well, all that to say this: it doesn't take much to amuse me. You can see that picking dandelions, but just like that, just you know, that's a dandelion. They're just a weed. Nuisance to most people. Nuisance to me too. I hate it when they get up there and they turn to seed and they're all over the place. But they're kind of pretty when they're like this. And that was a big one. Maybe the biggest one I've ever noticed. I want to share that with you. First thing we're looking at here is a view at the corner of the cabin we stayed in, and across the corner of the deck going around it, and you're seeing the mountain over across the valley, and there in the foreground is a magnolia tree. And those magnolia trees were everywhere. That might be why they call it Maggie Valley. I don't know. But magnolia trees were everywhere. None of them were blooming yet, but they were still pretty. There's another view, the same thing. It's taken a little higher. You see more of the mountain. You don't see the magnolia tree. Here we are at a lake. And I wish I could tell you what the name of that lake was. We'll find out here in a minute in the video, because you're going to see it written, but I don't remember what the name of it was. Don't remember even if we could pronounce it right if I did remember the name of it, but there it is. We're looking across it. And what this is the start of a mistake I made while I was there. Brett went down there and she ran around this lake, had a trail run around it, and she likes to get her exercise in every day. And Betty, she walked around it earlier in the week, and they convinced me that walking around that lake would be a good idea. It's 3.5 miles. And that was a mistake, because I come down with tendonitis in my right Achilles after that, and was crippled the rest of the trip. And a couple days after we got back, I was still crippled from that. I'm over it now, but I think that 3.5 mile hike I took around that lake was the cause of it. Here we're going around the lake now. There's another view of it. There's a swan and some other kind of creature. I don't know if that's a duck or a goose or what that red-headed thing is. Still going around that lake that day. Now we're directly across the lake from that place, and you're going to see that place up close here in a minute. There's a church over there. It's really interesting. And then I don't know what that big building is. It's got the dome on top of it, but it's a really interesting building too. Great big round Coliseum looking like thing. Across the lake. Continuing on. There we got across the lake. And there's that church. See that church back there behind us? Boy, that is a cool building. You can't tell it from looking at this picture, but that roof is made out of slate. And it's just a cool place. And there's that woman. She followed me around the whole time we were down there. Boy, she's a foxy looking thing, but I never could get her. She just, well, I see her around. She follows me around. She's been following me around for 60 years. There's another view of it. She's good looking, isn't she? There we are up close. See that grin I got on my face? That's because of her. See that little smirky grin she's got? It's like, can you believe I put up this old fool for 60 years? Yeah. There's a closer view of the church, and we're looking at the window, and you see the interesting stone. I'd say most of that's granite, maybe all of it. And there you get a little bit closer view of the roof, but you still can't tell it's made out of slate. But that's just a cool place. There's that other building, and it's cool too. Thoroughly enjoyed this place. There it is. This is a statue of the chief at the lake's named after. Junaluska. I would pronounce that Junaluska, but I don't know how you really pronounce it. They try to tell you how to pronounce that word down underneath there, but I can't do that either. Junaluska, Lake Junaluska. Bronze commemorative plaque there. I'm not going to read all that to you. There's the chief. There's that good looking blonde again. Look at her. Well, there we are. There we are again. We're standing in front of this big bell. See that bell? I like the big old bronze castings like that are cool. It's just a cool place. Glad we went down there and saw it. Still regretting the 3.5 mile hike I took while we were there, but there's that woman again. She's getting ready to ride off in her slingshot, but tried to get her to get in there, but she wouldn't do it. She said, I don't even know who that belongs to. I said, they wouldn't care if a good looking woman sat down in their slingshot. There's my ducks that I bought. That's another video. Go back and watch the first video if you want to see a story about them ducks. I guess this little video is not going to be very long, but got the job done. You got to see the lake. You got to hear about my tendonitis in my Achilles. And you got to see the dandelions. So, till the next time, I'm a hard times guy. Have a good day.